I've been seeing these egg white oats everywhere, so we're gonna try them out. So to my pot, I'm adding about a 1/3 cup of oats and about 2/3 cup of water. And then I'm also gonna add a pinch of salt. And then we're just gonna cook these until they are fully cooked through. So we'll bring the water to a boil and then just let them cook for maybe 5 minutes before we add in our egg whites. So I've been told that these turn out like a custardy, creamy, almost like pudding consistency. So they always look delicious when I see them online, but we're gonna try them out for ourselves to see if that's actually true and if they actually taste good. If so, this will be a great way to add protein to your oatmeal, which is so important because our oatmeal is high in healthy carbs, but we wanna make sure we are balancing that with some protein so we don't get crazy blood sugar spikes. So I'm very curious to see how this is gonna be, but we're just gonna continue cooking our oatmeal until it's fully cooked through before adding the egg whites. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes, and as you can see, our oats are fully cooked through. I did add a little bit of extra water because all the water I added evaporated, but you can kind of just eyeball it. Now it is time for the moment of truth. We are gonna add in our egg whites. I'm gonna be adding in a 1/2 cup of egg whites, and it says that you're supposed to whisk them for 3 minutes without stopping, so we'll also be getting in a little bit of an arm workout. So I'm gonna add these and then stir or whisk over medium, lowish heat for about 3 minutes, and we'll see what we end up with. All right, guys, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm using these egg whites in a carton, but you could obviously also just use regular whole eggs and then save the yolks for a recipe. All right, time to whisk. I'm using my mini whisk, which I don't know. I think I might need my bigger whisk. All right, here we go. So we will be whisking for 3 minutes. My arm's starting to get a little bit tired after about a minute, but you can see the oats are kind of getting a little bit thicker. So we're gonna wait till we get a nice, thick, creamy consistency. I guess if you stop whisking during this 3 minutes, you get a really weird consistency, and we don't want that. So we're staying strong with our whisking for 3 minutes nonstop. All right, it is getting thicker. We have about maybe 30 seconds left. You can see it's getting custardy, just like they said it would. Okay, it has been about 3 minutes, and as you can see, look at how thick and creamy that consistency is. And that's with just cooking my oatmeal in water. So it definitely got very creamy. Okay, so here is where you add your mix-ins, whatever you want for flavor. So I've seen people add in mashed banana, honey, maple syrup. You could do a little bit of organic brown sugar. I always love a little bit of brown sugar in my oatmeal. That's how I used to eat it when I was growing up. But I want to keep this healthy and high protein, so I am going to add some cinnamon for flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in. You could also do vanilla extract or almond extract. And then instead of adding a sweetener, I'm just gonna do a little bit of protein powder, like that much, barely any at all. Just like a 1/3 of a scoop, just to add some flavor without adding any added sugar or any extra added ingredients that have sugar. So we're keeping it very simple. It smells really good too. So mixing that up really well, and then we can go ahead and transfer this to a bowl and then add our toppings. So I will meet you back over at the table. Okay, we are transferring our egg white oatmeal into our serving bowl. I love that the egg whites add volume to it because I only used a 1/3 cup of oats and it made a big bowl of oatmeal, which is nice. All right, we're just going to kind of smooth out the top. It's definitely super thick and, like I said, almost like a custard consistency, which I like. And like I said, I love that this made a big bowl of oatmeal. So I sliced up some berries and just a little bit of banana to add on top. So I'm gonna go ahead and add our banana, some of these berries, and then I am gonna do just a little drizzle of honey on top, just a tiny bit. Okay, look at how good that looks. So simple, so easy, super high in protein. So moment of truth, we're gonna see if it actually tastes good and if the texture is actually good. So I'm gonna grab my spoon here. All right, I wanna make sure to get a bite with a little bit of everything. Look how thick and creamy it turned out. I feel like you would never guess that there's egg whites in this. I'm not sure how much protein's in a half cup of egg whites, but I wanna say with the egg whites and the protein powder, this probably has at least 20 grams, probably more than that, more like 25. But I'll figure it out and I'll let you guys know in the comments. Okay, let's try it. That is so delicious. The texture is so thick and creamy. Guys, this is my new favorite breakfast and new favorite way of making oatmeal. It's not super sweet, which I actually like, but I think next time I'll probably add a little more protein powder for flavor, or just add in maybe like a teaspoon of brown sugar or honey or maple syrup, or you could even use stevia. However you want to sweeten it. I think it just needs a touch more, but it is still so delicious. And like I said, only 1/3 cup of oats, so it's actually not crazy high in carbs either. So if you're watching your blood sugar, this would be a much better option than regular oatmeal. Let me know in the comments if you'll try this egg white oatmeal.